Hello, folks. Hello, everybody. I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV, the Sunday Night Roundtable. It's good to have you guys all on. It's good to be back on Facebook Live again. We have the roundtable tonight. Tonight's topic is about a subject that's kind of near and dear to my heart. You know, you try to stick close to MC protocol and do the things that help the clubs get along well. So we're going to talk about name dropping. That's one of my pet peeves. Name dropping in motorcycle clubs is just as unwelcome as snitches. So that's the name of tonight's show. We are live also on the Dragon's Lair, LAIR, the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, wherever you get a podcast, Spotify, whatever your thing may be, iHeartRadio, whatever. You can pick us up, the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, in case you want to switch to your car or whatever and play us live or download us. So we're going to get on with our guest and let you guys check that out right after this message from our sponsor. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book. Alrighty. So we have our folks here. Let me take everybody off mute. Howdy, folks, man. It's good to see everybody.
What's going on?
What's happening?
Hey. So we got Wild on Twos from the Wild on Two vlog on YouTube. We got Dirty and Tank from the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast.
What's going
on? Hollywood from Insane Throttle. So welcome, guys, to the show. One day, I want to have like a real audience. So, you know.
We will.
We're hoping for that. But
we'll be doing a meetup and do a live.
Better be in Vegas.
I'll go to Vegas.
Yeah.
No, I'll go to Vegas. Hell yeah.
No, where did you pick Hollywood? It's not
Algonia, Iowa.
Algonia.
What the fuck is there?
The Freedom Fest is up there.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
Showed up, Uncle Shaggy.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on, Shaggy?
What up, man?
Nice.
Living the dream. What do you mean, that one?
Yeah, that one.
Fucking love it, man. Outstanding.
I need my own shirt. What the hell? I'm tired of all these shirts. I'm going to get my own shirt. So
extra large.
What's up, guys? A couple things we start off with. I want to say that I'm very heartbroken for Adam Sandoval, who just lost his dog, Scooter Trash. I just want to take a few moments to give the condolences of the channel. I followed him for a while and actually went down to his campground in Antlers, Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma, so it was a good trip to go back home and look at his wonderful campground, which used to be called the I think the Special K campground on the K River. It's a beautiful campground. He's done so much to it, so much fun he's made for everybody. And his story is just a compelling story, and how that dog was with him the whole time that he's been through so many of the things he's been through. And I got a chance to meet that dog, Scooter Trash, in maybe like 2017, maybe 2018. And I made sure not to touch him because he seemed so frail to me then. And for him to have lasted that long. But being a dog lover, having two of my own, I absolutely understand the pain that he's going through, and I just want to send a heartfelt condolences for him for losing a buddy that he had for so long. So, Adam, we're with you, man, in heart and soul, and we feel your pain over here at Dragon Biker TV.
Also, I like to say tomorrow, if everybody can watch tomorrow morning to see just how bad the media really is. Boycott National Geographic. I did tell you that after what they did to myself and a major 1% club. So watch tomorrow morning at 8.
Yeah, I saw that title that you have up there, and
oh, they screwed us bad.
that's a lot. It's a lot to have to say in a title, and I'm just glad that you're. I'm glad that you're, big enough to do that.
Yeah, our company's cutting ties with all major media now after what happened. So it'll be on tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So, what time tomorrow morning?
8 a.m.
8 Central Time.
It has to do with a deal that was struck between National Geographic, myself, and a club, and they broke their deal.
Yeah. And you have to, if you're gonna deal with them, you gotta get stuff in writing, and you gotta have those.
We did.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, they'll find any little loophole. I tell you what.
Well, them being a major deal like they are, it's basically we have no recourse.
And they'll use anything they want.
Oh yeah. So I just wanted to say, BD.
Yeah. In the news this week, Rittenhouse got off, found not guilty on all charges. So,
well, I wouldn't exactly label that as he got off. He wasn't actually guilty of anything to begin with, so he didn't get off of anything. He got proven innocent by a 12-panel jury. He didn't get off of anything. He defended things properly like they should be in this country, and it's what this. Hopefully, the youth learns something from this and stands their goddamn ground and quits putting up with this domestic terrorist bullshit. I think what they put him through and what they made that jury face in order for them to come up with the different types of ways of convicting him. When it first started out, they were trying to go for the whole shebang, and then they were like, well, let's throw manslaughter in there. They were pushing at straws and pulling at straws to make him a political pawn. This country's got the right to bear arms. We've got the right to defend our freedoms. We've got the right to defend our businesses. We've got the right to defend our neighbors. We've got the right to defend our family. And because of some people's political views, that is no reason to go do the things that was going on at that time in this country. And he didn't get off. He was proven innocent beyond a reasonable doubt. And Black Dragon, I'm sorry I just kind of went into that tangent like that, but innocent people don't get off of charges that they're innocent on. It's the guilty that get good lawyers that get off, and they just get a good lawyer and they can't get that reasonable doubt overturned by the prosecution. So, the young man is a patriot. It's unfortunate that he was so young to be faced with such a thing. Veterans like myself have been faced with that kind of protection, and that should be for the adults, not for children.
Well,
got that right.
I was going to take a few minutes to say, how do you really feel about it? I thought maybe you would hold that.
I'm back.
It seems.
Well, I'll go off of what Shaggy just said. And what's even worse is it was the media that caused everybody to be there during this. And now they're stoking the fire now again on, MSNBC, CNN. One thing I like to know, since I'm from Chicago, is what a not guilty verdict has to do with looting a Neiman Marcus or whatever that is on Michigan Avenue. Thousands of dollars worth of damage, thousands of dollars worth of damage in New York City. And they're crying racism. The kid shot 2 white guys.
Here's the thing, man. It was originally reported, and I remember when it got reported, that it was black BLM members, right? They originally reported it as a race crime, trying to do that, stoking the racism shit like the Antifa and BLM has been doing. And it turns out there was 2 white guys got shot and killed. A third one was shot and damn near died.
And a black guy almost got shot.
Right. So, and it's clear self-defense. It's amazing to me. What is wrong with this pussification of our country?
Well, then you have another young kid at a school that shoots 4 people, teacher, and then he gets bail set at $25,000 and released the next day.
Well, let me ask you a question here. What are you talking about, Hollywood? Is that what happened as a result of the not guilty?
The not guilty verdict that was happening all weekend in Chicago right now, and I would really ask a question here. Why is the left, I call them the loony left, they are now making heroes out of the guys he shot? But here's the thing: one was a pedophile, and the other one was a domestic abuser. So if that's what the left think are heroes, I don't know.
Well, then the third guy, a month after the
be right back
DUI or something like that, and it's on video.
Right.
Not to say that's bad.
And what's even worse is people that didn't eat, because I watched the whole trial. Actually, Black Dragon was lucky he didn't bet me on that one. I told him he'd be not guilty on all charges, and I have to say the jury, they proved what Americans are. They didn't bow. They didn't
drop one charge, and I figured they would get him for the having the gun illegally at least.
But it wasn't an illegal gun.
We found that out.
Yeah. He did not cross state lines.
No.
None of that stuff with a weapon.
And that was my problem.
That's because media fed everybody right away.
No, that wasn't the media. That wasn't the media. That was the district attorney who went in there and said that the boy shot him in the back. And I didn't like that. I didn't like a couple of those things because he got up in opening and said the man was shot in the back. I don't know if it would have passed anyway. I mean, even if they'd been guilty, there were so many violations but we've seen district attorneys do these kinds of things before, and this one was just played out in front of people. I'm
saying before, when everything happened, media was already throwing their own agenda, talking about from race to illegal gun to before it even got to the court. So everybody already had all these.
You expect the media to do that, but I didn't expect to see a district attorney.
Oh, he was old.
Say a guy had it, but why didn't I expect? We see that happen with bikers. We see that happen with Planet Evidence. We see these kinds of things. We can see how ugly it can be. But anyway.
Well, I think it must be said, you're going to be doing it too, Black Dragon, covering regular news. Thank God for independent journalists, because that kid was caught on tape by independent journalists. If they didn't have that videotape, it would have been awful for that kid.
And they brought in a videotape at the last minute and didn't give the right version to the defense. So, hey, they lost their case. They didn't bring it.
What do you think, Dirty?
Well, I mean, what everybody else has been saying. I mean, truth be told, I mean, that was a clear cut, that was textbook self-defense. I mean, everything was caught on 20 different views. I mean, the FBI apparently has drones over these things and they're videotaping every fucking thing in the world. So how could you not see it as self-defense? And I think the only reason that it wasn't self-defense right away is because they charged that kid right the fuck away. The DA, the police, nobody fucking looked at any footage.
Oh, yeah.
They just automatically charged that kid right away because they had to appease them out.
The problem with self-defense immediately, this is the problem. Can you claim self-defense in an issue that you started? I think that would be the question.
It depends on what you mean by started.
Well,
he didn't start the riot.
Well, he didn't start the riot, but he didn't need to be there. He was out past curfew. He was.
None of them needed to be there.
That was dropped.
That's the same thing as saying, I'm going to say it, same thing as a girl saying, hey, just because she wore that fucking skimpy dress, she can be raped. And that's fucking bullshit. Same fucking thing. Just because he's there does not mean people should attack him and try to kill him or do anything. I could be
no,
stepping in a
no,
pool.
hold on. The self-defense part to me was clear cut. I made a video about it the night it happened. Somebody swinging a skateboard at your head. You're on the ground and somebody jumps through the air and tries to jump on top of you. A guy pulls a gun out and he's got the gun right there. And I already said that. I did a blow by blow the night that it happened. The argument, I think, would have been, can you claim self-defense if you started the problem? And I think the court said no. The jury, anyway, said no, and they found him not guilty. For me, that would be the only problem that I saw that might happen.
How did he start it? That was proved to be wrong.
Well, I said that the jury proved it, but the things that they said, the things that he was brought up for, being there past curfew, being there underage, being there with a weapon underage, all of these things.
I mean, that still does not give anyone the right to chase him down and try to kill him.
Never said that. Never said
if
that.
It wasn't him. It was going to be someone else.
That's a fact.
It wasn't anyone else.
Because he was right there at the time. That guy just came out of a mental institute.
He was a pedophile.
Yeah, he just came out of. He was looking to freaking kill somebody. That guy was even saying, "I'm going to freaking kill you." Right before.
He told him, yeah. He told him that point blank. You know,
yo, fellas, here's something that's really fucked up about this whole deal. And maybe it's just my way of thinking. Maybe it's my military service. Maybe it's my club life. Maybe it's just me in general. We make too many excuses for the people that are on the other end of that bullet. This country's got a big problem with mental illness, but that doesn't give people the excuse to harm others. Age discrimination, racism, the whole 9 yards is not an excuse to go after somebody who is in the right. Yeah, there's some things that they could portray as extenuating circumstances for him not to be there, but he was there.
Well, hold on a second, Shaggy. The reason why he was there is because his dad lived there. He worked there, so he had every right to be there, if you ask me, because Dino Rider said the issue at the beginning is he shouldn't have been there. Hell, if my parents lived in that town, I'd be there.
That's not the point I was saying, though.
I haven't heard that anywhere. That's brand new for me.
The point I was saying is by the legal aspects of what they were saying is him being underage and being past curfew. That's an extenuating circumstance that is being used. Well, he should have been found guilty because he should have been there to begin with. Well, that's beside the point. He was there. It happened. Let's get past that point and let's get to the nitty gritty. Okay, he was there because he felt he needed to be there, and we were all teenagers once. Let's look at this with common sense. You're not going to tell a teenager no. Okay, we're all dads here. We've all had to deal with that shit with teenagers. Teenagers don't accept no. That's why they make them windows where they open up and close, and you can screw the fucker shut, and the son bitches will figure a way to get out. You know? I mean, yeah. We've got kids. Let's look at this realistically. That's the problem. We're not using common sense anymore. Guess what? Shaggy's back. They got a new mission in what we're doing here. We're putting some common sense into this, and that needs to be in all life. All life. That includes the life that we just watched a young man about have his entire life taken away from him because he was doing what the founding fathers of our country did against another tyrannical government.
Yeah.
I just want to weigh in if I could.
I was going to say one thing, though. Some people say that's news to them that I guess his dad lived there. He actually, they said it through the trial. The guy asked him, so what were you doing? And he's like, well, my dad lives there. I worked here.
I didn't get to watch the whole trial, but, you know.
They put it out there.
For me, none of that matters. What really, okay, so for me, the issue, and like I said, and I said at the night of the video, all of the things that occurred to make him do the shooting, there is no doubt that guy was chasing him around the car, trying to get his gun. There is no doubt that somebody tried to jump on his face when he was laying on the ground. There is no doubt that somebody pulled a gun on him. There is no doubt 3 or 4 people attacked him when he was laying on the ground. And just myself personally speaking, yeah, if that was happening while I was with an AR-15 in my hand, it's a good possibility, probably a good probability that you wouldn't be making it up out of there. But the extenuating circumstances that put him there, I think that's was fair game for a trial, and the jury process said no.
Well, I don't even think it was about Kyle. I think it was about your Second Amendment, your right to self-defense is what
I
that
think
trial
you're
was
100% wrong about that. I think it was 100% about race.
about.
Can I weigh in
white
on this?
male.
Yeah, go ahead, Tank.
Well,
All right,
it was 100% about race. The whole thing was 100% about race. The whole thing was about a black man that got shot down in the back while getting in a car. Because
we can talk about that.
yeah, I mean,
Well, hold on though. Here's the deal, man.
the whole thing was about
Well,
race.
no. Hold on here.
The thing
All
was
right.
about race.
Let me weigh in. Would you fuckers shut up for a second, all right? Jesus
Not
Christ.
likely.
I'm probably not. I know. Let the fat man get his word in, all right? You know, here's the deal, man. You got Antifa out there. You got BLM out there. They're saying, fuck the police. And they're saying, hey, look, we don't need the police. We can police our own communities. This kid goes out there. He's got his parents in there. He works in the community, right? His dad's there. He's going up to defend a business. He's defending the community. He does what they're saying they're going to do, and then they excoriate him for it. That's a fucking irony.
Well, that happens so often in this country in the last 40 years, or even longer than that. Look back during the civil rights movement. Look at all of the times through the civil rights movement when that same exact scenario was happening over and over and over again until all these laws got passed. And now it's 2021. All that shit's our history. And as we've gotten through time, and you could do back to a biker conversation, you look at the old pictures from back in the day from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and you see the progression of men in motorcycle clubs. Back then, they were giants, man. They were huge men. And I've asked some of the old guys about that, and their jobs were very laborious back then. They had a lot of muscle, they worked real hard. Well, look at us now. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall and 170 pounds. Some of my brothers are pretty goddamn big, and some of the guys in the MC community are pretty big, but there's a lot more smaller dudes than what there used to be. Not all of us get real fat off eating bacon and fucking Cheetos, man. I'm telling you what, I love them both, and I can't gain a pound. I wasn't talking about you, Black Dragon. Quit being all dramatic and shit.
Well,
you've already be fluffed.
I think we should get back on the original topic.
You look good on TV. Let's do this.
Well, one more thing. One more thing, because Black Dragon just brought up a black guy was shot in the back. You have to tell the whole story. He was pulling a knife and he was kidnapping a kid. Straight up. That's why they were there.
What are you talking about?
Read it.
We're getting off topic here. The whole thing is,
we
know what caused
I
the
see enough of
problem.
this on TV.
We know what caused the problem. We know what brought us to this point. However, if the initial act wouldn't have happened, the kid would have been there to begin with, because Antifa would and BLM and all the riots would have been happening up there. That's beside the point. A young man's life was affected because of the whole thing, not just because of the one thing. It was all race related, all media driven, all against our entire founding. Let's get back to our founding. Let's get back to our roots. Let's get back to America. Let's get back to being bikers. Let's get back to freedom. Let's get back to what this country's about, not all the bullshit that's following it. It's time for people to stand on their fucking feet, be Americans. The veterans start following the oath they took, because it never expires. This is enough here.
So the original subject.
You got anyway about name droppers.
I mean,
Name dropping them.
I'll be honest with you guys. I knew that, and I knew I was going to do that. I mean, I knew that when I knew that when I did that, we would get some, strong opinions. But hey, I like it. It's good. It's good that we can talk. That we're not out in the neighborhood shooting and carrying on and yelling at each other.
Well, it's because we're busy in here. We all rape, pillage, and take over the countryside, but we're in here trying to educate now. So I mean, we had to take some time out of our day. People are safe right now. I'll be out here in about an hour or two.
Amen. So I'll be out there with you. So,
right on.
Anyway, I want to. Okay, so we'll move back. We'll move to the subject. We've spent 25 minutes. So. The idea of name dropping, I bring this up because I've seen a little bit of this happening lately, and I've been seeing it actually with some of these shows out here, and some folks have made it like really passe to say my show my motorcycle club protocol show is really great because look at who's sitting next to me. And it leads me to an idea that's, in the motorcycle club world, we move on our own metal. We move by what we're able to do. When you see the name Black Dragon, you see my cut. You know from that cut and how Motorcycle Club Protocol works. You know how I got that cut. You know what I went through to get it. So we move on our own names. And what we don't do in the motorcycle club world is we don't effing drop names. And
Well, I know what channel you're talking about, and I feel sorry for the club members that were photoed in there because that has caused a lot of problems for that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I spoke to Shaggy a few times. We spoke for about an hour each time or so, just shooting the shit. Not once have we didn't drop any names. We talked about in acronyms about maybe clubs or something, but there's people I talked to and they start throwing names galore of people from clubs and this person, that person, taking pictures with the club member you're not really affiliated at all with, but you're making it seem you are.
Exactly.
And you're making it seem like they got your back for some reason, and then building now your reputation off of their reputation.
Well, I also want to say to do that in the MC world is a good way to get hurt quick, fast, and in a hurry. And so I just kind of wanted to bring that out in a video and talk about MC protocol. This is a protocol channel a lot. We talk about good behavior in the MC world. And we don't typically run around and drop names. A lot of times we don't even, especially if you're dealing with the 1%er side of the house and you're on the 99%er side of the house. Another thing that we don't do a whole lot of picture taking where we got a guy standing next to us in his colors. A lot of these guys working hard, this, that, and the other, and their lives are, they live separate kind of lives. And here you run up in the clubhouse shooting pictures or you take these pictures and you put them on social media. You can cost a guy his job or his livelihood or anything like that, or cost him to lose a case in court where he's trying to get custody or anything like that. We don't typically do that with bikers at all, especially bikers that wear cuts. So, one thing I will often do is if I'm, a lot of guys will come up and take pictures with me because I'm Black Dragon or whatever the case may be. And I will always say, is it okay if I post that picture? Is it okay if you see me in that or whatever the case may be? Because it's important to know that just because you see a channel doing that or you see somebody that's glorifying themselves off of the backs of other folks, that's not what we do in this world. So I thought I would let this go around the round table and see what some of you guys thought about it.
Well, let me tell you about the situation you're talking about, BD. It has caused problems, and those pictures that were posted and where they were at was Nevada, and that weekend 3 members got taken down. It's in a major news story. They got taken down. Now you got these freaking pictures everywhere.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to put that out there. Like we don't do that.
No,
at least we used to not do that. It's this new social media thing. So if we're going to put out good information, let's put out good information. We don't name drop. Come on, Tank, you guys. What do you guys think? Give me something.
Oh, calling me out. Okay.
Let me tell you a little bit more about Ryan.
Now the fat guy don't want to talk. What the fuck?
That guy was hoping to get called second. I mean, we're all taught, coming up through the ranks that you just don't, like you say, you don't drop names. Dirty and I in our podcast, we play in the Wisconsin sandbox, and we don't drop names or anything like that in the podcast. We dance around a lot of subjects. We've come with ways to say it, but we don't name. In fact, the only time I think we've ever name dropped was on a certain club and cop club. We won't talk about them at all, but you all know who I'm talking about. But I don't even think I used their real name. We called them a derogatory name. I'm kind of dancing around it now too, because I mean, like you said, you just don't do it. It's how people get hurt.
Well, I mean, we go out of our way not to say another club's name. I mean, even if it's like we're talking about like a very popular news story that's all over the place, we won't say the name just because that's how we're, brought up in this scene, you know? I mean, I I very rarely will say another club's name unless it's absolutely necessary, and I only usually do it in person. I won't do it on the internet because the internet doesn't need to know that club's name. If they know, they know. If they don't, they don't. So it is what it is.
Even through text message can get you in trouble, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They screenshot that shit and it goes places.
No, I mean, we've had people on our show. We interviewed a lot of different club members from some different clubs, and we'll even ask them too and say, if you want to say your club's name, go ahead. But that's on them, not on us.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've had a couple different club guys in here, and first thing we ask them is, do you want to say your real name? Do you want to say, your club name? Blah, blah, blah. Because, look, let's be honest, man. It's always like somebody's trying to get one up on a club. You know what I mean? Everybody's looking for
boy, do I know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this whole putting club business on the internet thing is relatively new, within the past decade,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and in bike scene, 10 years like a club. If you're 10 years old, other people think, they've been around a while. That's a baby club, right? I mean, that's a new club, 10 years old.
Oh yeah.
So that's why just the internet itself. I mean, it's brand new, and people say they'll talk all this shit about us on YouTube. You go on TikTok, holy shit!
That's a brave new world, there, man.
I have never seen so many from 1%ers. From presidents of chapters, nationals on TikTok. Everybody's on TikTok. And then here you go, someone on YouTube gets in trouble for posting a really great video or something and then gets in trouble because they're on there. But, man.
Well, one thing that you bring up TikTok, but what upsets me is BD can attest to this, is behind the scenes of our news broadcast, we talk to these people, but we'll never name drop them people because that's confidential. It's off the record. You're not supposed to bring that up. And it was funny the one time when Black Dragon, because we talked about that, where they said, well, you don't know any 1%ers, and I think they got you heated, where we can't talk about that kind of stuff. Maybe it's our age and everybody's telling us, well, this is a whole new world now. You guys, blah, 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 blah. There was a guy that came out on one of these protocol pages that said, well, it's not about the 80s and 90s anymore. You got to remember, it was the old guys that started all this stuff. And if you guys are going to do your new age world stuff, well, guess what? The cops don't have to do their work anymore. You're putting it all over the internet.
All right, so I'll pick up from right there. What do you suggest we do? We can't put it on the internet, but we can't get the youth to get involved in this and be the future of our motorcycle clubs. You don't want to on the internet anymore, so what are we supposed to do?
When I mean about putting it on the internet, and a major club in the Midwest does this, you don't know who the members are of this club. Yeah, out of country you might, but in the States, and you guys in Wisconsin know what I'm talking about, they'll never have it where they have profile pictures of them in their colors. I think it's a different from Midwest to East and West Coast. They're where you're talking about trying to get a reputation off the internet. You know what I mean? If you're a creator, where everybody knows who Shaggy is. Everybody knows who Brian and Tank are. But the very fact of the members, especially this TikTok, I seen what you were talking about, Carlos. Usually there's somebody designated to talk for the club.
Yeah, and it's not really there. I mean, I don't know how this I literally find myself from single stepmothers to, and all this, single moms channels to suddenly all clubs of, not really ones I care about, but all these guys on TikTok just posting from even prospects. Posting.
Well, yeah, even I've seen 1%ers on TikTok, punking out other clubs, you know what I mean? Or showing things that they probably wouldn't have shown 5 years ago. Let's put it that
Well,
way.
yeah, and they'll show things that, like you said, you don't want to show, because that's RICO charges right there too.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know, they're posting things that yeah,
Predicate.
I don't even want to say.
Well, there's we got a couple of those videos. We got them to the clubs involved. We won't print that stuff because that kind of stuff is a predicate for RICO.
All right, so news flash here, gentlemen. If you don't think being in a motorcycle club, a 1% club down to, say, I'd probably go as far as RC, because there are some pretty shady fucking RCs out there. They all want to be somebody until they get in trouble. But, what I'll say is, if you don't think the feds don't know who you are, if you don't think the feds know how many people you have in your motorcycle club, if you don't think they already got pictures of everybody, go back and look at all the mafia stuff. They had every picture of every capo, every soldier, every boss, every underboss, consigliere, captain, the whole 9 yards. They got my picture posted everywhere. They got everybody in my club, everybody in every 1% club across this nation. This government has an endless budget. That being said, newsflash number 2. It's 2021. It took me a long time to get on board with what I'm doing and figure out the purpose I'm serving, right? So with that being said, let's look at the demographics of this whole thing, right? Look at your motorcycle clubs. Your average different demographic for a prospect is 35 to 45. When I came through, when Black Dragon came through, hell, even when you went through Hollywood, the average age of a prospect back then was 20 to 25. Okay, our motorcycle clubs aren't getting younger; they're getting older. There were stories I've heard that I think we had it on here on one of the roundtables where guys who are in their 50s that are prospecting aren't looking at elders and founders that's been doing this forever, because they're all the same age as any type of relevance to them, relevance to their stature and their status, any type of respect towards what they've done for the club, because, well, guess what? They lived life too, but not this life. Okay, so let's get back to the real point of this thing. Hollywood, you're way off fucking base, bro. Way off base. What I disagree with, or excuse me, what I agree with is what you're saying about some of these creators, the nonsense they're putting out here, which is what brought me into doing this. It's time for the nonsense to go away, people to hear the real thing. And my thing isn't a how-to. I don't want people to learn how to do this. I want people to understand why we do this so that they get some interest, because this is the forum they use now. The people aren't as sociable as we were back then. They want to see everything on YouTube or Spotify or TikTok or Facebook or this social platform or that social platform. They want to do a little investigation first. They want to do a little background stuff on it if they're even interested in it. If they're interested in it, what we want to do is bring them. What we want to do is we want to bring them to the motorcycle club, and that's where they'll get their education and stuff like that. But we got to give them a story. We got to give them something to build them up. But we got to give them good, positive stuff. We've got to change the look of our clubs in the aspect of, when you report the news, it's all negative shit. This club did this. This club did that. It's cool how you got your forum now where you put the positive stuff in there. You put all the good things that the clubs are doing, which is awesome. And then you put the bad stuff towards the end, and then you slam the cops. It's awesome. Good setup. However, bashing on these creators, when you say all, that includes all of us that are trying to do the right thing. Not these fucking cop guys that infiltrated clubs that have got their own MC channels, or not these guys that have been sitting in a basement reading, Sonny Barger books, or reading Snitch books, or reading that book or that book, or looking something on the internet like that shit Black Dragon pulled up that one time that shows you how to start a motorcycle club. I mean, come on, guys. We have to use what we have in our toolbox to make this a success, okay? In 2035, gentlemen, the MRF is fighting this. The NCOC is fighting this. INCOM is fighting this. In 2035, they are making laws to where there will be no more petroleum engines. We will not be able to ride motorcycles unless we want to ride electric shit. Start thinking about this stuff. It's impossible for them to do. If our supply and demand is Harley Davidson motorcycles or motorcycles of any brand with engines on them, we are the ones that have to do this. Okay,
Yeah,
we have to look out for the futures of our clubs. We can't be saying all creators are bad out here, or we ought to shut this shit down.
yeah, it's just a type of information, right? YouTube is the number 2 most searchable, whatever, for off the internet. After Google, people search, type in how-tos and things on YouTube to learn from, to get. And nowadays, you can reach someone like I wouldn't have got to know anybody on this panel if it wasn't for the internet, right? It builds relationships. It puts out some positive vibes. Maybe I thought differently about clubs, and I hear Shaggy speak, and I might agree or disagree. It might bring me to go for myself to go out there and actually get introduced to somebody. Might go meet somebody that is part of a club. So there's also positive things. But
well, there's positive creators too, but it's outweighed by negatives. And my worry is because the ones who've been doing this long enough know. Accepting people off the internet's going to cause a security issue for one, and for two, some of the advice they get hurt. There's
well, it's not about accepting people off the internet. It's about giving people information that will bring them to come to the club to ask the questions, and the club needs to decide at that point what information they want to give them to teach
getting
them.
people off the internet,
Right.
Which there's a lot doing right now off the internet. And we all have a core audience together. All of us creators have the same audience. And a lot of the people that I'll see on, say, my channel, and hopefully Shaggy gets back, man. I've been hoping for that. Oh, okay. I've been hoping for that one. But the same audience go over to Finger Johns and praise him. Well, wait a second. This is a cop. This is the cop that infiltrated 2 major clubs.
I did that the other day. I actually looked at some subscribers and see who they watch, and he was on there, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
So that's what I worry about for the clubs. Is this is a great platform, but are you wasting your time with people that get their information off the internet instead of going straight to the club? There's one famous club that I always say, don't try to email us to how to become a member. Go find one.
Well,
and
all
I
clubs
think
kind
a
of
lot
have
of
that
people
mentality.
on the internet that aren't.
Go ahead, Dirty.
I think there's a lot of people on the internet that are just watching this shit as exhibitionists. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to join a club. They're somehow attracted to it, and they're usually the loudest because they really don't give a flying fuck what we say as far as, oh, this is the rules and this is that. They just want to stir up some shit because they're watching us for entertainment. They don't give a fuck about motorcycle clubs.
Same guys that will test you and be like, oh, if I ran into you, I get that. If I ran into this guy, I'll whoop him in the street. Or
good luck.
Yeah.
Well, if they watch Shaggy, they're going to get the straight up with Shaggy. If they watch BD, they're going to get the straight up. If they watch Brian and Tank, they're going to get a straight up. But I can remember when I got a call, and this is what really made me start thinking about this. Somebody got wolf packed. I'm not going to tell you what state or any of that, who it was. The wife called me and said, my husband listened to everything that was said, and they still whooped him. Okay. People have to understand this is local stuff, and when you're talking in broad terms like some of these creators do, you're going to get somebody hurt.
All right. I wished you would have brought this up, but now I'm in a corner. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my lifestyle. Welcome to the MC lifestyle. Now, I only hear one side of the story. I'm not hearing every detail that happened. And I've seen guys get wolf packed many times, and I'm here to tell you right now, every time somebody's gotten wolf packed, the individual that got his ass beat the fuck up had a big mouth, said some disrespectful shit, pinned the club in a corner that made them do what they did because said individual could not take a hint to go away. Now, the other thing, too, is every organization that has anything to do with a family mentality will wolf pack anybody to protect that family. Welcome to my lifestyle. We will protect our own. Unfortunately, if you're a dumbass, guess what happens to you? You get lumped up and shoved out the door. My bad. Quit being stupid.
And
I'm
that's
tired of
what you
hearing
find
these
on.
stories that, oh, it's the internet's fault. It's the internet's fault. Nobody takes any accountability for their own actions. Guess what? It's probably that dude's fault. However, you and I talked, and I do know what you have told me, and that particular particular set of folks are well known for being loose cannons, I guess would be a loose term to use, and that's not uncommon. However, you need to know your crowd you're going into when you're dealing with motorcycle clubs and you're a MC culture person, or you're a part of the motorcyclist enthusiast group, right? Or an independent. You got to be able to read the room, man. We talk about this all the time. You know, you walk into a bar and it looks like it's about to erupt in there. Go home, go to another bar, or be willing to throw down and get down. I mean, you know, this is a lifestyle that's for the rough and tumble, for the thick skin. I'm tired of hearing the internet being blamed for people's stupidity. Guess what? People, you're stupid.
Just ask what wolfpacking was. Wolfpacking is when a whole bunch of dudes beat up another dude. That's wolfpacking. So, there you go.
Or rat packing, they used to call it.
Rat packing, wolfpacking.
It depends if you're in 2020. It depends if you're in 2021 or 1990, I guess.
I don't know what to
gangbang.
Yeah, you can't say that no more because everybody's changed their gender.
Oh my God! Let's not get into that one.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
Once again,
I
I'm not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're stuttering. Come on, Cuban.
No, that was another topic that was brought to me because some MCs were patching in transgenders and stuff, and I go,
what? MCs were patching in transgenders?
Whoa.
Huh?
Yeah, drop that name.
Drop names.
Don't drop that name.
I don't drop.
All right, so back to name dropping.
Fucking doubt a fucking MC would patch in a transgender.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff that I was seriously doubting 5 years ago that today that I would never thought would happen.
I mean, don't get me wrong. MCs are no. Hold the fuck on. MCs have somewhat fucking gotten into having like chicks be more supportive, and like clubs can, like chick clubs can be, whatever. But as far as transgenders go, I seriously doubt a fucking MC patching a transgender.
I'm with you, Shaggy.
Oh
fuck!
You know it's happened. You actually.
It was actually an article on it.
An article? I don't give a fuck about an article.
I got the article
bullshit, man.
Me.
Dude, I got about the fucking comedian shirt, man. Do another push-up. I don't give a fuck.
Fucking A. Next thing you know, we're going to be talking about them goddamn patch holders in Disney
World.
Transgenders.
Oh, God. Where is big?
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
So two genders, man. Two genders.
So I called the local group that knows them, and it was confirmed, and that's why I was shocked. So
they confirmed it.
You got to change your gender first, Tank.
Okay.
And you got to shave. I mean, there's a little hairy up there.
Oh, fucking A, man.
Oh, son of a bitch. It's good to be back.
I had to let you out.
Goddamn right, it's good to have you back.
Everybody's coasting out there, just saying.
Coasting. Pound coasting.
Oh, shit. All right, back to name dropping. Kind of heard what some of you guys said. So, 20 years ago, it was one of the unwritten protocols and unwritten rules that, when you talk to somebody in the MC community that was not in your club, that you didn't use their name or their club's name whatsoever unless they give you permission. And I'll give you an example of that.
Dude without a dick. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shaggy. I can't get over that. Go ahead.
I don't forward that to me, Wild On. I don't want to see it. I already have a story of this happening that's true. So what Wild On said almost happened, but now that he's saying it really happened, like I said, shit's happening now. 5 years ago, I never thought would happen, but I digress. So back in the day, you talked to another club, say you talked to the local 1% club. You never used their name for anything, not even their club name. Well, I talked to so and so. And now, if they give you permission, you still never mention their name, but because they can only give you permission, and they would only give you permission to use their name. Their name was synonymous with who they were with. You didn't have to mention their club, right? You didn't refer to them as 1% or so and so back then. You just said their name because the community was real small. Everybody knew they were a 1%er. Now there's all these titles, 1% of this person, or 1% of that person, or this club person, or that club person. Well, the community's gotten so large now that there's 40 different Shaggies in a state, or there's 900 different Hollywoods in an area, or on and on. Dirties, Tanks. There's a whole bunch of those. We're really original people when it comes to naming our folks. Now, today's day and
how many
age,
fucking old guys have come up and asked me if I know Snake from so and so fucking MC? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, or just how many snakes do you know? I mean, It's the same thing. About 50 of them. Well,
no, my favorite is when fucking somebody asks me if I know somebody that's in my club.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine too.
Yeah, we've met.
Yeah, like who?
You know, I like when they tell me I don't know this individual in my club.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite one.
Well, I'm more friends with him than you are.
Even better,
are you?
I have a buddy of mine who's in a 1% club down south who was talking to an individual and said his club got approval from this particular guy, and the guy's like, no, you didn't get approval from him. Well, I know him. No, you don't, because I'm him. I've never met you before.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me. Yeah.
Hey, Wild On, what are they doing? Giving her a pipe?
Let's stay on pipe. Goddamn Hollywood, you do this every show.
I gotta send this to you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sending it to you.
So now, today's day and age, it's kind of a lost art about the name dropping thing. And people have gotten comfortable because, honestly, clubs aren't doing the shady shit that they did back in the day. Back in the day, you didn't have the social media aspect of things. But today's day and age, it's weird now. More people now know me by my government name than what they do my road name, which is weird because because of Facebook and them going to the rules about how you have to use your first and last name, and I'm not real tech savvy, so I just followed the rules. And I'm in a bar and some other 3-piece pastor comes up to me, like, "Hey Tom, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you? How the fuck do you know me? And what government agency do you work for? And who's that?" And they're looking at me like, "Man, we're friends on Facebook." So I'll be like, and being tech dumb, I pull out my Facebook. "What's your name again?" And then he tells me his road name, and by then I've forgotten his road name because now I got on my phone as his real name. That's technology. That's Facebook. Yeah, and they were making a point earlier about Facebook and social media about clubs not having their colors on it. There are a lot of clubs out there that I personally know that don't allow that. There are clubs out there that if you are friends with another club, that you cannot be friends with them on Facebook because of the club affiliation deal. But they can still have their colors on there. Every club's got different rules, and we're not here to tell clubs how to govern themselves. And I think at one point we kind of get into the old stuff compared to the new stuff. Let's start focusing on the new stuff in a sense. Keep some of the old mentality, but focus towards today's day and age and what we deal with, right? Social media is a fact of life. We have to be careful with the picture thing. That's a very important point somebody made on here. I've had brothers literally get thrown back in jail because of a picture that was posted on Facebook. And guess what that did? It told him that government agency where that brother was at. And we have strict rules about posting pictures with our colors on Facebook. And every club should police that just for the security and safety of their members. if anything, just a little common sense. Security and safety should always be number one when you're dealing with when you're dealing with your club and you're dealing with the protection of your brothers.
Check your
And
phone, guys.
if you're going to name drop, don't ever use another man's name in another motorcycle club unless you're willing to stand before him and say, "Hey, man, you give me permission to do so."
Check your phone, guys. I don't want to be in 2021 no more.
Things change all the time. Even the big clubs right now, and in one day, all the members on Facebook suddenly no colors, nothing allowed. So things do change for different ways.
Oh, fuck me, Hollywood! Really?
He was right.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. You got to see the picture.
Well, now that I have seen this picture, I will say this. Being a non-union employee and an advocate against the union, I believe that because the union's part of the Democratic Party and they're all part of that LGBTQ or the whole goddamn alphabet because they're selfish bastards. They ain't but about 2% of our whole goddamn population.
Hey, man.
Thanks for wasting my 2 minutes on this, Hollywood, but that's some funny shit.
I don't know where that fucking MC is, but I can guarantee you in fucking Wisconsin.
I can't show you guys. There's somebody that sent that. I can't show you who sent that.
I'm just saying, man. Fuck that shit, dude.
Here's the Wisconsin one. No, but I mean, even right now, there's a lot of patch members that I run into that love name dropping, and maybe they met somebody once, but they act like they know that person. I get it; they're part of your club, but they start name dropping that person like when I contact that person, they're like, I only met that brother once. But the guy told me a whole lot of stories, like if he's been around that person for the longest time. And I stay quiet about how I know the other guys. I'll say, no, I know that I chat with him or something. And I'm always straightforward saying, no, I only met him only on Facebook. I never met in person. Some people meet people only on Facebook and act like they're, that's why I really want, I talk to Hollywood all the time, Pac, like I really want to go in person. If I don't ride with you, I really don't, that means more to me when I actually can be in person, ride with you, talk with you, share a drink with somebody than actually just on Facebook or.
Hey, Tank, you said this is a subject that's near and dear to you and Dirty. What'd you mean by that?
Well, I mean, as you know, we this past summer we lost our club president to a motorcycle accident, and it's amazing the amount of people that came out of the woodwork that were crying to us about how well they knew him and oh my God, he was so special to him, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? I haven't seen you in 6 years, and now you're suddenly coming around here talking about this bullshit like you're suddenly his best friend. Who are you? And they're asking like questions like, I mean, Dirty and I, we prospected together. I got somebody talking to me, asking me if I knew who Dirty was, and do you know when he patched in? And I was like, yep, I do. Well, I mean, it's near and dear to us because we just went through all this.
Well, if somebody would have asked me that, if when Dirty patched in, I'd be like, look, dude, yeah, I know my brother, and when he patched in, ain't none of your business. Why would you ask a question like that?
Well, I mean, that's just it. I mean, these fucking people, they meet a guy once or twice, they fucking have a beer with him in the bar, and they think they're best fucking friends.
Yep.
And that's just not the fucking case. I mean, I don't know how many fucking people were trying to talk to me about my fucking dead brother that we're putting into the fucking ground and acting like we're sharing the same fucking tragedy in our lives. No, you were not sharing the same fucking tragedy in our lives. You know what I mean?
I do. On the kind of flip side of that is, gentlemen, you guys should have a lot of pride in that because it sounds like that member was very well respected, well known, very well loved. He touched somebody. And this recently happened to me. One of the guys that I helped mentor in my former club passed away back during Memorial Day weekend. Killed in a bad motorcycle accident. And I couldn't believe the amount of people that came up to me and was telling me about how much the man loved me, right? Couldn't believe how many people showed up and were constantly like, bury this, bury that, bury this, bury that, bury that. I mean, on and on and on and on and on. yeah, I could feel you guys' pain on the one side, but on the other side of it, you know, I can't help but think of how well loved that member was of yours. I mean, that's the first thing I think of. One thing I want you guys to think of when you guys walk away from this conversation today is the definition of a measure of a man. It sounded like the measure of the man that you guys put into the ground was very well respected, loved, and a huge, huge thing. I think the name dropping thing wasn't an uneducated or very like bad thing. It's this is one of those subjects where, God damn, it could go either way. I think they were trying to fit in with you guys and have your condolences at the same time, fit in with the conversation. And as aggravating as it gets, I'm one of those sentimental guys when it comes to losing brothers and stuff like that. I just think of, man, that motherfucker touched more than me. How awesome is that?
No, I hear what you're saying, man. I mean, yeah, he was a big personality, and he knew a lot of people. He was in the public eye, and yeah, I
He
don't
was a
doubt
great
that
guy.
he felt a loss. But at the same time, when you're, trying to put a guy into the ground and this, that, and the other thing, and they're trying to, act like they're somehow above the patch holders that are in that club. And I'm trying to like dance around the subject because I don't want to get too like involved. It's sort of like when you go out to the bar and somebody fucks around and they start fucking with you, and it's like, oh, it's okay, I know so and so. It's like,
Well,
no,
then they
dude,
get a black eye then.
understand that's not the same thing. You can know the man, but I'm his fucking brother. Therefore, he's going to have my back over yours. So shut the fuck up. It's like that type. It's not that type of thing, but it's that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, it is. I mean, just like any club, when I talk to people about clubs in general, I have mutual friends in different clubs. But I know when shit hits the fan, and I tell people that you can be kind of close to this person, but remember, when you're around his MC family, that's number one. And don't think other people that he's going to back you up. If he may try to like lessen your beating, but it's not going to be what you think. Some people they have acquaintances and they think, oh, I know this member, and they go in there with their chest up high, and they think that member is going to be like suddenly helping him out, and it's not going to be the case.
That's absolutely right, and I'm glad you brought that point up because I've had to give that warning several times too. Like, hey, man, we're thick as thieves, we're tight as could be, but just understand one thing: you're entering into my world, and my world dictates by my brothers and by what we want as a whole. And if you think you're gonna go in there just because you know me and walk around like a banty rooster, you're gonna find out that inflated chest gonna get deflated real fast, and it isn't gonna be pretty. You know, most people that I've seen know that I've friends with that I've warned when they go into around my club, my former club, all the clubs that I've been around. I always give them the, hey, watch what you say, watch what you do. You're not used to this. They usually get the point. They go in with a good attitude. They go in with a good demeanor. They carry themselves well, and they usually walked out and learned something. Those that do the name dropping and those that do not listen and those that go in there like that Banny Rooster deserve every fucking thing they get.
Yep.
And that, according to Uncle Shaggy.
And we talk about posting things, right? Like now we do all the work for everybody, right? Back in the day, and a little bit about like my background's a little different from other people's coming from a biker community. I was more involved, like I tell people, maybe quote unquote, more organized infrastructure. And back when I was young, the pictures of me were actually like old school things that people from buildings taking pictures down of having meetings and talks and walking. And that's just part of it. Now we're actually giving all the work. We're doing all the work. People are posting things on the internet and doing all the work for these governments, feds, everybody, local LEs. That's why there's positive things you can post, like with Shaggy. And I'm all for Shaggy being on YouTube and being on social media. He presents the no bullshit straight, like what he sees and what I notice is the truth, compared to some people kind of bump it up for views or something, or just to get a big following. And that's one thing people have to understand is just being grown adult, knowing what the hell you should be posting, not posting.
Well, that's what I was going to ask Shaggy. If you're back, we just start promoting you again because I know we're taking on Biker Lifestyle Podcast and promoting the shit out of them from now on. But you're back, right?
Yeah, I'm back. And here's the deal, man. I got a new mission. I had a long talk with one of my brothers, and actually had a really long talk with um, a brother from another club in another state. And we started talking about the positivity and the future of this lifestyle. We started talking about the numbers as far as the statistics go, with the age and stuff like that, the age of prospects, the age of motorcycle clubs, and the future of clubs, right? And you know, my thing was originally geared at getting out the positive stuff along with good, straight information. Well, it's kind of geared now in the same aspect, but with a little bit of addition to it. And the addition is going to be um, talking about the importance of all of us coming together to change our lifestyle for the betterment of the future. Meaning, you know, man, I sure idolize our old guys. I really do. I always say that I was born 30 or 40 years too late. You know, I would have loved to run around like them guys did, man. There is nothing cooler than to hear the old nomads talk about how they nomaded back in the day. There's nothing cooler to hear the old stories of the real rallies back in the day. There's nothing cooler than to hear the old stories how all the clubs used to just party together, all together back in the day. There's nothing cooler than to hear those stories. But guess what, gentlemen? Shit happened between then and now, and we have to work with the now. So, how do we get back to then and bring that kind of somewhat back to now? Um, we got to start looking at leadership. We got to start looking at the positivity of this. We got to start looking at the go getters, man. We're supposed to be about motorcycling, biking, partying, having fun, racing, getting together. We're social people, man. But we're only social with the like-minded, and we've kind of forgotten that. Technology is actually can be used as our friend, being, hey, we got these cats out there that are young that like to ride around, man. They're doing some cool shit with motorcycles. These young guys, man, do some really neat stuff, but they kind of off to themselves because they really got nobody that like we had around us. I mean, how do we get them? We talk to them in this kind of a forum, right? Hey guys, check us out. This is what we do. Say, hey, some of us old guys on here. Hey, here's what we did at this time, and here's how we handled this situation. Here's what, and we kind of just tell them some of our old stories. That might pique some interest, right? So now they're out riding around in their cool little thing they made in their garage, and they run into one of us. If it affects one person, it helps my club, your club, Black Dragons Club. You know, it helps another club out there. Then we've done our job. We've got that 20-something out there to join a motorcycle club. We got that guy's attention. We throw the hook out there for him, say, hey, man, come check us out. It's a big advertisement thing in a sense, on top of it's cleaning up some of the bullshit that's on YouTube and on these other forums. You know, Dirty and Tank, what you guys do with the straight stuff, man, right on. Keep it up, man. That's what we need out here. We are gruff, straight to the point men. Okay. That's what we're looking for. It takes a lot of time to find that because we were all, when we were found, when we came to the clubs, we were all that diamond in the rough. We were all that, you know, 4-leaf clover in a clove of 3-leaf clovers. It takes that special individual person. They're not coming like they did before. So my channel is going to be geared more towards finding that diamond in the rough, finding that clover leaf, you know, promoting my lifestyle, which I've lived most of my adult life, to where I'm at the point now where I want to see this carry on to the future. I want to see more guys out there, gray bearded like we are, telling the stories we're telling, fighting the fights that we're fighting, talking about the topics we're talking about. You know, we've been sitting here arguing about politics, now arguing about some club stuff, now we're talking about the future of another channel. Man, this is stuff that's back in the day was talked about in the garage building a damn leaking ass piece of shit shovelhead. You know, this is the new garage. How do we use it in our ability? How do we make this a good, useful tool in our toolbox? You got your podcast. We got Insane Throttle. We got Wild on Twos with the Moto Vlogs. We got Black Dragon TV. We got Shaggy. We've got, Professional Monkey. We've got Brian the Biker. We've got all these moto vloggers. We've got all these good people. And guess what's starting to bring them together? There's 3 guys on here that came together one night, spent 3 hours on YouTube, came up with this roundtable, and guess what? We gotta pick and choose now which one we get on here so we all fit on the screen. That is success, gentlemen. And the numbers are being blown out, which is awesome. Now, this is something that can carry on into other club stuff like NCOC and NCOM, MRF, the Freedom Road Riders, the other forums that are helping fight for our rights and part of promoting good MC, community lifestyle or motorcycle enthusiast lifestyle. Man, our lifestyles have always come together and unified when it came for important stuff. And right now the MC community is hurting because we're not getting the right people. And it's because we don't have the right leadership.
Well, you said it yourself earlier. Maybe it was somebody else, but we're dealing with a lot of factors here. And one is the pussification of the American male.
I said that. Yep.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
It is a fact. And it's been a fact. It's a slow burn on that one that's been building for a long time. And so, it's hard to find that younger kid that's got those kind of nuts, that has that type of backbone, that is that diamond in the rough, because too many of them are out there buying they're buying into the whole goddamn Harley wallet, Harley socks, wearing the $120 pair of designer jeans they buy from some fucking boutique.
Right.
So you had said it earlier, what other form do we have than to go on social media and to be able to talk? We're dancing a line here.
Well, remember how it started, though, with the negativity, right? All these guys are hearing now is negativity about 1% clubs and MCs, OMCs. So, of course, they don't want to approach them. You're going to hear about the wolf pack. Man, hey, you going around on them guys, man. They're going to beat shit. I'm just trying to introduce myself. It's guys like us, guys like myself, guys like Black Dragon, guys that are on the NCOC, guys that are NCOM. They're leaders. It's time for leaders to start getting in forums like this and talking about, hey, our clubs are not unapproachable. Our clubs are very approachable. Be respectful, because this lifestyle is about respect. If you disrespect a motorcycle club, I don't care who you are, you're going to get your ass kicked. It's simple human nature. You disrespecting 10 of us in the military? Oh, goddamn. We looked for a fight then. And it hasn't changed. So we're no different. It's our American ability to just kick ass and take names, because that's what we do. However, pause for effect. The only way we're going to get those guys to come to us like we had the nuts to do back in the day was let them know that we're not the big bad wolf that we're portrayed as. The media has things so fucked up right now. We have the purpose of the NCOC was to put out our own narrative because of what happened in Waco, right? All these clubs that hated each other came together, had a meeting in Colorado, and said, look, we need to fix this problem. Well, guess what? Phase 2 or phase 3 or phase 4, wherever phase we're in now is hit, we've got to fix these problems. The only way we're going to do this is to put our side of our lifestyle out there and quit letting the media and all these fake bikers and these basement bikers put our lifestyle out there. It's up to us to take care of this. And
his channel is Shaggy's Corner, David.
So, that the importance of us, this roundtable, the importance of having, hopefully we get Big Bone back on here, the importance of getting all these other 1%ers on here and all these other clubbers and all these guys that we've reviewed their channels and their shows going, these guys are the real deal. These are the people we want helping us promote this lifestyle. These are the people that we want in our corner because these people are doing and have the same mission we have.
Well, aside from, clubs, the entire culture is aging out. A-Bait's going through that huge right now. Since I've been an A-Bait for over a decade, I've seen the average age of motorcyclists go from 45 to 55. And they're not as involved as they were before.
No, they're not. They're really
But
not. You got the smaller MROs that are more involved than A-Bait is.
Here's where
taking over the A-bait side of things.
Here's where I want to go, Shaggy. Though, is you're saying everybody's aging out of the clubs.
I didn't say that. Tank over there.
I just said it.
Oh, okay. But
I was paraphrasing.
But what club scene are you talking about? Because maybe you're missing.
He was talking about A-bait.
No, I'm talking about what club scene are you talking about? Yeah, we know what club scene we're talking about, but there's the Rockets out there that their clubs are booming. And by the way, they got better looking chicks than we ever did.
Well, even the MCs are like, not to say, I'm not calling real MCs. I'm just saying, and people that are putting MC patches on, they're growing by the drove. I mean, but like you said, but the ages are 40 to 45, 50 years old. I get people all the time. I put a video that's you're not too old to prospect. I met two people. One guy was 64 years old for one of the big fours.
Holy shit.
And another guy who prospected at 63. He's already 68. And I just made a video about it. And all these in the comments, all these people going and prospecting at 58, 55, 53. So the numbers are there. But he said the recruiting of the younger age, they like the nice little Ducatis or I don't know whatever bikes they ride. It's
Jigsters, all the sport bikes. They do have a lot of clubs. So is that the generational difference where they think Harleys or V twins are the older man's bike, where they prefer the Rockets?
Oh, guaranteed. I had a young kid look at my bike, tell his fucking girlfriend, I want to get that when I get old. What the fuck?
Hey, I'm older than you, and I still say that. I'm going to get one of those when I get old.
I mean,
you're not that much older than me. You're only like 2 years older than me.
Go ahead, Dirty.
Well, I think Black Dragons Club, I think they have Japanese sport bikes in there.
I think in Houston, you guys do. I think you guys.
Yeah, our club has always been that way. But our club started out as a race bike club. Well, most Black Sabbath had two bikes. They had a chopper and they had a race bike. And it's almost always been that way. But now, what has happened now that the club is getting old is everybody has bought Harleys. So you come in my club, if you come in on a race bike, you're probably going to be on a Milwaukee 8 or something within 2 years. And that's because of the distances the clubs ride. You don't have anybody that can bend over and ride like that anymore. Although we did have a chapter come from Inland Empire, California out here this year. They came bent over. But now that the guys are getting old, they're almost all on Harleys. I'm one of the few victory holdouts.
And what Vegas in the comment section wrote is true. Bikes are like $40,000.
I got a victory.
Some of these young guys can't afford these, baggers anymore. So they're going for the cheaper Kawasaki. Adventure.
Well, that begs the question then, Wild on Twos and Shaggy. Wouldn't it be a smart idea for some of these clubs to spin off a sister club that's just Rockets?
No. Starting a new club does not solve the fucking problem. That is the problem.
But how are you going to get them younger kids interested in a lifestyle they care nothing about?
Well, sorry, Shaggy. What I'm saying, and some of these kids, they want things now, right? They want all the reward, no risk. So they do like some so-called support clubs that still says, hey, if you're in this club for a year, you won't be out bad. You're not going to get eyed out. You're not going to, they make the risk very small for these guys. But a lot of these guys, like Salty, he has an EMS club. He gets calls all the time, people thinking because of the EMS club that they can just get a patch the first week. And they're surprised that he says, no, it's at least a year for prospecting for him. People want things now. That's why they buy freaking patches from Wish.com. That's why some guys start clubs because they don't want to put in the time. I don't mind if someone starts a club and has some backing of some, been in the lifestyle a little bit and they have experience. But there's people who have no experience of starting a club because they didn't probably want to put in the time. So, I mean,
So
Daz D Confuse asks, better ideal to allow metric cruisers that can be bought for less money. What would you say to that?
Oh well, here's what I'm going to say. Let's back up a little bit, and this is part of getting those young guys to look at this. The history of American motorcycle clubs, and I will even go as far as to say white clubs, because we've already talked about the history of the black clubs and what they had to go through just to get a Harley, right? But the history with American motorcycle clubs had to do with keeping with American ideology. And back then, you had Indian, Henderson, you had Harley
BSA.
Davidson, you had some of the those back in the day. But because of World War I and World War II, Harley Davidson was able to supply the military with all them motorcycles that ended up being sold in Dermo for $25, $30, and the American motorcycle scene basically was, hey, we're Americans, we're going to ride American, this is how it is. That faith, and this is what pisses me off about Harley Davidson, because of the love of country, these 1% clubs, these other OMCs and these other MCs are all riding Harley Davidson motorcycles, saved them through the AMF years, did all this stuff for them, and they badmouth us like they do, and we still ride their product. It's about American clubs buying American made iron, and a lot of clubs have gone to not just Harley Davidson, and I'm talking about 1% clubs, and changed it to American made. Yeah. Because Victory became very popular. Indians showing back up on the scene big time, and they got a good, reliable motorcycle. I can't believe I just said that. I'm going to go pound my fucking face in here later, because I'm not buying an Indian. Them things are still ugly. There's all these other custom guys out there. There's guys in my club that do custom work. There's guys in other clubs that do some amazing custom work. The thing is a lot of clubs change their wording on their bylaws because, a chopper isn't necessarily a Harley Davidson just because it's got the heart and the transmission. Man, everything else around that thing was built by somebody's hands, and it started probably in a scrapyard. And to today's day and age, it's kind of still that same way. It just started as a project in the shop, and next thing you know, it's come out something cool. It's done by your hands. That's not necessarily a Harley Davidson because it's got a Harley Davidson engine in it. Or
an S&S or all these other kind of big dogs. You remember all those things?
Absolutely. Clubs have kind of changed their bylaws on that and changed some of the wording. I don't see 1% clubs going metric, though. I really don't.
Let me add this, though. You don't need $40,000 to buy a Harley. You need $40,000 to buy a new Harley.
That's right.
You can still get a 2010 big old Harley that'll carry you across the country for like $9,000 or something. So
you can buy a lot of Harley for $5,000 nowadays.
Yes, you can. Look, man, I started out on a 1973 Ironhead chopped out rigid frame, kick only Harley Davidson, right hand shift, left hand brake.
Did you wear a kidney belt?
I do. I when I ride one now, I do. Shit, I don't have a back where the fuck, but I'm gonna tell you what, it was cool riding down the road. However, in order for me to ride down the road, I had to work on that thing every single day, or I wasn't going anywhere. Now I have it. I bought it brand new in 2007, the first year that they came out with the 96 6-speed Heritage Softail that I have 102,000 miles on, and it's still factory. I haven't really done much to it. Some pipes and high flow air filter system and a tuner, but bikes, the Harley Davidsons are way more reliable than what they used to be. They don't leak like they used to. They're really easy to work on as compared to some of the old days. You're not spending your time on the road on the shoulder anymore like you used to. So you can get a good used motorcycle that's a twin cam. Even some of the Evos that are still out there, as long as it's not an FXR, everybody's looking for a goddamn FXR, and they're stupid expensive. But
tell me about it. I got one.
You go like Tank was saying, man. You can get. Fuck, man, I could find every single day $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 twin cams. Need a little bit of work in them, put a little bit of grease and paw in your palm, and do something.
And the good thing about Harley, I mean, trust me, I had Indian before. My first bike was a 1957 BSA.
Oh, I love a BSA. Man, I love those British bikes.
That was 650cc bike. That's what I learned on. But if something would happen to me in the road, I can go to any freaking dealership anywhere, and they'll fix my bike up and get it running quick. My buddy who had an Indian Challenger that was riding with me had an issue, and there was no parts for his bike. That's the thing. So he had to get it trailered, and we took off on our bikes, and he had to trailer it.
So back in my day, if you would have said something like that, well, I'd take my bike to the shop that you worked on, we didn't consider you a biker.
Yeah.
Well, we look at you like,
it's not just that day because in my club we ride coast to coast and we carry toolkits.
Oh yeah.
We're on the side of the road.
I carried toolkits. I carried extra spark plugs. I carried an extra coil because ironheads are known for blowing coils, and I carried extra springs because the flywigs kept blowing. And now I carry on my bike just to fuck with prospects, especially older ones that think they know everything. I carry the little cam deal, the cam plate that goes for the points for an iron head to see if they know what the fuck it is. If they don't, they got a long time coming. I'm here to tell you right now because that is the most malfunctioning piece of shit ever, but the easiest thing to fix and the easiest thing to adjust with a matchbook.
Yeah, I mean, I carry from trauma kits, tool kits to even for in a tire inflator. That's just because I learned that during prospect.
It's coming on that 8:30 hour. I like the No, I'm not talking about get going. I like Dirty and Tank to talk about their channel.
Oh yeah.
Well, our channel is basically just one of two things: either us bullshitting about a specific topic, or us highlighting somebody that is in a motorcycle club scene or in a motorcycle scene in general. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a club member. It could be somebody who's just a biker, and we just like to get to know what they're about and get to know what they are into. Because far too often, unfortunately, there are certain stereotypes about bikers that aren't favorable. So we try to break that, fourth wall, if you will. Not every dude that wears a patch is out there robbing banks and fucking kicking over old ladies. You know what I mean? They're hardworking, real Americans that are just trying to fucking have brotherhood and loyalty and ride their fucking scoot, But at the same time, not everybody that rides a motorcycle that's hardcore is in a club. Sometimes they're independents, and they put on just as many miles as any fucking patch holder does.
Sometimes more.
Our channel's all about.
We got some kind of a running joke on there about Gold Wings. We both have a real hatred for Gold Wing because they're the Gold Wing riders. Well, no, it's the Gold Wing riders are this. They're this just weird kind of stupid, So I was all. I'm a county director for A-Beta, Wisconsin, right? So I'm at this meeting, and one of the state officers was there, and I was on a tear that day. I was all fired up, and so I'm going off. It was right after your accident, Dirty. It was 2 years ago at the strip poker when you guys went down, and I'm fired up like you fucking read about, right? And so I go off in this tangent about Gold Wings, and I can't fucking stand it. I'm just 5 minutes on Gold Wings, and this high official in Wisconsin A-Beta looks at me and goes, I ride a Gold Wing, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh man.
So does Black Dragon.
I thought he had a victory. I thought it was safe territory here.
Well, that's one of those situations where you open mouth, it's her foot, and just chew because the damn toe.
I'll fight.
The only time I open my mouth is to change feed. Okay.
I'll go toe to toe with anyone. I love Old Green. She's right down there in the garage. So she's a 97 SC, and I love her to death, and I'll ride her across country anytime.
So if you guys are in the chat room, please go over to Biker Lifestyle Podcast. I know they're gonna, Tank's gonna rearrange the channel some more, make it look good. So you guys got to get over there and frickin' subscribe and watch them videos. Yeah, actually, your videos are more popular on Roku than mine are. So thanks a lot, assholes.
Yeah, well, they don't call us a shit show for nothing.
Channel, or do you guys have your own Roku channel?
No, he's on mine. I put their stuff on my Roku, and they're more popular than us.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we release our videos on Mondays. Monday afternoons. We got a pretty good topic tomorrow. We taped it this past week, but about sobriety, being a sober biker in a motorcycle club. So I've been sober since April 2019. So it's something I was kind of passionate about. But.
You know what I'd like for all of the channels to do? We got it coming up right now. These are the holidays, so I'd really like it. I really appreciate it if you guys would take some time to talk about mental health, suicide, and veterans in mental health on one of your shows sometime, maybe a time or two during this holiday period, because we're losing 1,000 vets a day to suicide or something like that, some crazy number. And,
it was 22 a day.
22 a day. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we need we need to be looking at that and all kinds of ways that we can, these are the times when people get down, especially through the year. So if you guys could do that along with what you're doing, I really would appreciate that, and I'm sure the guys out there would too.
And guys, don't forget, Uncle Shaggy's back now. He just said it, so you guys got to get his channel going back over there with that algorithm.
Oh, well, it hasn't stopped. I've been trying to check it from here and there. Matter of fact, when I signed off about 2 months ago, it was like 4,600 subscribers, and within like 2 or 3 weeks after that, it went over 5,000. And then I did that guest appearance, and it's still, people are still watching. I'm still getting comments on there. I learned how to do a post where I could post it to people, and the whole group can see it, and told them, look, man, I'll be back. It's just going to take some time, and well, time has passed and time has come, and it's time to hit the road again and start pretty heavy. Winter time's coming, so it is just going to be MC stuff. I'm going to try to figure out a way to take this tablet and set it in a position when I'm doing the work on my bike and stuff like that. And people have been asking for me to do stuff like that. I'm not going to give a how-to or give advice on work on motorcycles, man. There's too much shit out there that's way better than I am. I'm still one of those old school mechanics that if I have parts left over, I did a great job. The bike's harder.
Also, if you guys in the chat rooms, I know the motovlogger community's huge. If you guys can get a hold of Tank and Dirty, maybe they'll have you on as a guest and stuff, and bring some subscribers with you.
Oh yeah, we could do Zoom.
So we're gonna start getting you guys guests. That way we get you going.
Somebody asked an interesting question. Often MCs have the image of bar hopping, drinking to black out, but what do you say to a hang around that's not a big drinker?
Oh, I love this question. First off, yes, we do have the image of bar hopping. That's because we're sociable people and we like to get together, and it's all geared around riding, and we ride from place to place to place. If they're drinking to black out, they're a bunch of nimrods. I rarely have seen that, and I've been around a long time. There has been times where we went into bars, kicked everybody's ass out of the bar, and we drank till we blacked out. It happens. That was the good old days. Don't happen so much this day and age. For somebody who don't drink, I commend you 100%. I don't drink. Everybody thinks that I drink a lot. I used to drink very heavily, but becoming a leader in the MC community, I went from being the drunken brother to the babysitter brother, and it kind of helped with my alcoholism. To the point where I can have maybe 2 or 3 beers and I just don't drink as much. Being a motorcycle club is about being an independent individual at times, and some of your morals are very important, and they bring a very important aspect of being in a motorcycle club. Being able to stand by the fact that you don't drink is very commendable, and your brothers, believe it or not, respect it greatly. Because you don't drink, or because you don't do drugs, or because you don't do this, or you don't do that, or you don't have these certain things in your life that are a part of your demons, we'll say, there's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, as a prospect, you shouldn't be drinking anyway. Right. However, that's not to say it don't happen, but there's nothing wrong with being a sober person in a 1% club. I got several brothers that are sober, and they're awesome brothers, and their dedication and loyalty to the club is no less than what it is for some of us who are partiers. So being sober is part of your personality. It is a respected thing in the club life, and if it's not respected by the individuals you're wanting to be around, then you're not respected by those individuals. So why the fuck are you around them?
I'll say that too. I'm not a drinker. I never have. I went through the entire Navy, and I've never drank. And
Oh, in the Navy, I was stupid.
No, never. And the funny thing about it is, there was this one situation where the guys wanted me to drink. You got to have one or whatever the case may be. And they went out and they got a bunch of girls and everything, uh, uh, and I had a can of beer, and I went to sleep. And oh my God, for the rest of my time on that submarine, my name was One Can. They called me One Can John. And I was sleepy. I didn't pass out from the damn can of beer, but hey, I couldn't get rid of that name. But the thing I
now
like
you're
about,
really not going to get rid of it because it's out there in the public and you can't take it back.
no, I take that back. So the thing I have always enjoyed about motorcycle clubs, at least the one that I've been in, and ones that I know, is that I have always been accepted by my brothers purely for being me and who I am. And not all my brothers like me. Some think I'm an asshole. They'll say Dragon's an asshole, but he's our asshole. He's an asshole, but he's our brother asshole. And we can call him an asshole, but you can. And it goes all the way down to I can be me. And if me's not a drinker, the funny thing about it is my bros won't let me drink. If somebody passes a drink to me, my bros are like, "Oh, he don't drink," and we don't want to see him drunk. He's already retarded enough. So it's you don't have to be anything other than who and what you are for people who are ready to accept you into a brotherhood and love on you. And if you've got to be more or less than that, if you've got to dim your light and you can't shine, or if you've got to act like you're something that you're not, or do something that you aren't, you're not in the right environment. You're not around the right people, because we're going to love our brothers for who they are. And,
Hey, BD, you screwed up pretty bad during this show, man. You
What?
really did. Because now it's hashtag One Can. You fucked up now. And I'm going to spread it.
Enough.
Hashtag One
hashtag
Can.
Zero cans.
Well, I can actually kind of speak on this a little bit, because we recently in our club got a couple hangarounds, and they were telling me that they weren't big drinkers. And as the round table alcoholic, apparently, with over my shoulder here, you can see we got a whole bunch of bottles of liquor. Drinking is part of the whole biker's lifestyle, obviously. But if you don't drink, that's not a problem, because at some point, the biggest drinker will become sober. Otherwise, he ends up dying of fucking cirrhosis of the liver. You know what I mean?
Nearly.
Yeah, I mean, we got a club brother right now that's fighting that. I mean, we all know the fucking dangers of fucking drinking. I mean, how many fucking memorial patches have we put on our backs because some dude had too much to drink? You know what I mean?
Some people be surprised at how many clubs I've met and how many sober patch members that became sober after. Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of the clubs that I really admire is ARM, and they are not only a sober organization, but how they mentor each other and how they mentor others on their sobriety. And I find that as that part of their mission, but I find that very admirable, because our lifestyle is filled with a lot of addictions. If it isn't motorcycles, it's drugs. If it ain't drugs, it's alcohol, or it's a combination of both, or it could be women, or it could be gambling, or it could be, just some of the strangest shit, right? And that particular organization right there, they walk the walk, talk the talk, and they're all about it. And to hear some of their old stories, and to hear some of the other sober club stories, man, you're sitting there listening to how these guys used to be. And I'm thinking to myself, shit, that would have blown my heart right out of my chest and killed me right off the bat. How the fuck you survive that? And like, I don't know, but I'm here. And I guess my mission in life was to help others.
It's been said about other aspects of the world, but what's the best part about being in a fucking motorcycle club? Excess. What's the worst part of being in a motorcycle club? Excess.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, New Attitudes is another great sober club. Real great sober
club. Yeah, I've
met
quite a few of those guys, yeah. But, that's the thing about brotherhood, man. I can't tell you how many times I've seen, just like Black Dragon was saying, guys in 1% clubs who have lived already that lifestyle, and like Wild on 2 said, you end up sober eventually. These guys, brothers will see, and prospects will see right off the bat which ones drink and don't drink, because You know, prospects kind of get the raw end of the deal just to kind of make that point right away. Like they go to give a sober brother a fucking beer, and he's looking at him like, "Motherfucker, ain't you paying attention? I don't drink. Well, you ain't gonna push me in it. You're the prospect. You know what I mean? Just go off. It's funny as shit, but they'll tell other folks, man, hey, you can buy all the shots you want for the room, but this man don't drink. You know, and that man don't drink, and my brother over there don't drink. You know, that is very visible and very much seen, and you know, it goes back to our mentality of, you know, being our brother's keeper and taking care of our brother. You know, we know that he don't drink, so we're not going to offer him shit. You know, we know he don't do drugs, so we're not going to offer him drugs. We know we don't like this kind of thing and that kind of thing, so we don't. We respect our brother's boundaries. We respect his choices, and that's the way it is. You know.
And you know what? I can speak to the truth to that. I stopped drinking in '97. I went with the Pistons, and not once did they try to get me off of that. They'd actually get pissed if I went to grab a drink and stuff. They were actually there to help you. But one more thing, Insane Throttle's Rocco channel, it's for everybody in the scene that are good content creators. You can email me what you want put up there. I'll put it up there. We don't do ads on Roku like YouTube. We don't take no money. It's out of our pocket, but we want it out there to where others can enjoy a content free without censorship. So if you want your stuff up there, just get a hold of me.
Oh, somebody did ask earlier if somebody, I said if somebody gives my club a shout out, and I publish that as that name dropping. And no, if somebody gives you a Clear Club a shout, your channel a shout out publicly. No, it's not name dropping to republish that. I mean, they were giving you a shout out so people would come to you. So yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
In my opinion.
I agree.
I like to see Brian and Tank on the round table more.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys come back.
Hey,
You guys
whenever.
keep doing what you're doing, man. I like the straightforwardness. I like the real deal mentality, man. You guys are dudes that are what this lifestyle has always been about, man. You say what's on your mind. You mean what you say. You say it with conviction. You know, that's the kind of people we need representing the club lifestyle, the motorcycle community, instead of some of the people that are representing it that caused me to come out of a shell and out of a hole to kind of, you know, fix some of this stuff. I mean, it takes more than one person to do it. It's good to see you guys' show doing well and you guys doing the things that you're doing. And man, you definitely got fan in me, that's for sure.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Shaggy.
it.
Right.
That's why I'd like to see him on the round table. That it's been a really good one for me. You know, and
Well, you
what's
gotta remember, there's only so many squares here. I feel like we need to be playing what's that Hollywood Squares, whatever it's called.
Hollywood Squares.
What's Hollywood going to
that
say
should have been
next?
the name
Or
of
what word is Hollywood
Hollywood
going to say
Squares.
wrong next?
Three more were the fucking Brady Bunch.
Hey, we can amp up
Whoa.
the. We can. We can.
Episode? Have you seen that episode with Family Guy when they talk about the Brady Bunch,
Yes.
where they opened it up wider because of the new TVs?
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Black Dragon?
No, I haven't, but it sounds
It's
funny.
all black dudes on each side, and the mom is getting banged by all of them. It's awesome. I love Family Guy.
Hey, Shaggy.
Oh.
You know, they film on Thursdays, man. It'd be awesome to see you on the Biker Lifestyle podcast.
Oh,
On
shit,
Thursday. On Thursdays. Yeah. Oh, I don't usually ain't noon. I thought Thursday. What is it? Thursday nights?
Yeah,
Thursday
Justin.
night, 7 o'clock. We'll send you a Zoom link.
7 Central.
All right. Yeah, I'll come on you guys' show. Let me put that in my this Thursday. I can do that. Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
This
going on.
Thursday? Sounds good.
Yeah, I ain't doing
Right
that.
on. If you look in the private chat, we sent out my number's there, Shaggy. Hit me up. Text me.
By the way, we'd have up to 10 guys on this.
Will they all fit in the screen?
Yeah.
Well, they all fit on the phone screen. Most people look at us on phones, but yeah, we can have up to 10 guys. Yeah. Hey, don't forget me on the Bikers Lifestyle podcast, guys.
Well, then we'll get you next Thursday. How's that?
And then Wild on Twos.
And don't get wild on
We can have
Tuesday. Shit,
everybody
hell
on
yeah.
And
Actually, we yeah, no shit.
And on Saturdays at 5 o'clock is when I have Tank on. But at 6 o'clock, if you guys want to come into our Discord channel, learn how to do,
Did you do that today? Did you do that yesterday, rather?
I only worked with Tank because I wanted to work with them. I'm gonna do 5 o'clock with them so I can get them going. But at 6 o'clock, it's gonna be on Saturdays.
That was a good show. Good one you did the first time. For those of you who don't know, Hollywood did a show teaching people how to be social media content providers like we are, content creators. So to help their shows get up and running better. So that was good. Good on you, Hollywood.
Well, like Shaggy said, we got some awesome people out there, and if we can get their voice amplified, it's all the better for the scene.
Yeah, and it's about everything. It's not just about the MC set, like Tank said. It's the biker community as a whole, right? You got to bridge the gap between regular bikers, motorcycle enthusiasts, to the MC set in general.
Absolutely. I was talking with the guy last night, and what I told him was something that Hollywood said many times on this show and on his own program about, the motorcycle enthusiast community is way bigger than the club community.
Oh,
but where we get our club members from is from that community, right? Some guys are legacy members, but not everybody is. So I came from the enthusiast side, man, even though I kind of grew up around it. But, today's day and age, though, is technology. So we got to reach these people by telling our funny stories, Mac, because honestly, the truth be told, we all work now. We all have jobs. Our lifestyle has gotten somewhat, because of COVID, really boring. And we do still tend to have those epic moments. But for the most part of it, it's still true blue, old school, what it was founded for, which was the brotherhood, the family mentality, and the aspect of taking care of each other, knowing each other's needs, everything that you go through with prospecting and the importance of all that when you become a member. This lifestyle has offered more good to me than bad. There's going to be those times. I mean, it just happens, but I don't see the rat packing or the wolf packing as much as I used to. I don't see the, bar fights that I used to see all the time. I don't see the all in all out brawls that, clubs used to have all the time. I mean, they still happen, but not as prominent as it was back in the 90s and early 2000s, man. I think the savagery that we used to have has really changed because, as we kind of was talking about in the beginning of the show, the changing of men. Men aren't exactly that, laborious as they used to be. They're not as big as they used to be and aggressive. I mean, some of these guys may need some testosterone shots, but those ain't the guys I'm looking for. I don't. That picture kind of said it all, man. The world's a changing, but we got to change with the times too, in the aspect of getting good people that's going to carry our lifestyle into the future. Because, man, I sure hate to see something that has given me such a blessed life and such a wonderful life go away.
And before I'm going to be getting off here, but if you're a creator, June 30th through the July 2nd, it's the 2022 A-Bait Freedom Rally in Algonia, Iowa. There's going to be a creator meetup, and it's a freaking party. It's on private land. Good stuff, man. It's a party up there. So
A-Bait Iowa party? Oh, hell yeah.
So
when is that?
It is June 30th through July 2nd. And you know our boys that throw that, Shaggy.
Yeah.
So if you guys are creators, you're all invited to come up there. We to do a round table in Algonia. It'd be fun.
Then we're going to go to see Pac, aren't we?
No.
Yeah, Pac's right up in North Dakota, yeah. We'd leave right from there if we wanted.
Nobody sees Pac until I go first.
So,
well, I'm not have no reason to go that far north. I mean, I like Pac and everything, but he wants to see me Hey, Pac, all due respect, love you on the channel, but man, there's just some borders I ain't crossing. And North Dakota, I don't care, sounds fucking cold. I mean, I'm
That's
not
why
a
we're going
sissy
in
or
July.
nothing.
It snows in July there.
Look, I used to be a truck driver, and my dad retired from trucking. He told me one time in Little America, Wyoming, little bitty, all it is a truck stop, and it's got greenery around it. Everything else looks desert-like, right? 4th of July, he was stuck there. He said it would fucking snow, 2 foot of snow in the 4th of July in Wyoming. Yeah, man. There's some borders that I just don't need to cross because I don't like to carry all that shit in the winter or in the summertime. I like wearing it in the wintertime, let alone carrying it when I could put other shit in my saddlebags.
Well,
like
it's gonna. I think A-Bait members, I think they get the discounted rate for the whole week for camping. We can. I'm going to be talking to them about setting the booth. So if we could get a round table going up there, it'd be real fun. And moto vloggers, everybody, get your butts out there. And I heard
I got a message for you, damn moto vloggers. I tried that, and Wi-Fi doesn't reach as far as my motorcycle will reach. Quit bothering me about the goddamn moto vlogging thing. I'm not going to do it. Okay, I don't have time.
He tried to Wi-Fi it, man.
That was a stressful 30-minute ride thinking I was going to lose this $300 phone.
That's why you got to get that GoPro, man, for $50.
I got 2 of them in here, man. I got this shit on my motorcycle. Next thing you're going to tell me I need a radio and I'm going to need, all this other shit on
Heated
there.
hand grips. Heated seat.
Back seat, backrest.
Holder.
Well, I'll get a bagger when I'm ready to get a bagger.
That's true. I love my stuff. My heated hand grips and heated seats. That comes standard on a Victory Vision.
Look, it gets cold for 2 weeks in Atlanta. I don't know why you need all that shit.
Hey, and all 2 of those weeks, I'm gonna be bundled the hell up.
All right, guys, I'm outie, man.
Well, we're going to be bringing the show to an end. Thank you, Hollywood, for coming on, man. Appreciate
Don't forget to watch tomorrow morning because of what they did to a really respected freaking club. You guys got to watch it.
All right.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
Yeah. Take care, man. So I've got a new show coming as well. You guys have probably seen my new Biker Combat series. So we'll be doing some really cool stuff with Biker Combat. Axe handles and all kinds of stuff we'll be doing. Also, we have a new show too coming. It's Biker Bloopers, and be looking for that in the next few days. Good to have you back, Shaggy. Any parting words for you guys as we get ready to move on into Sunday night? Now that we've been here almost 2 hours, and Tank and Dirty Man, I really have appreciated having you guys on the show again. Thank you so much.
Oh, love to be here.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'll just say, like we say on the show, the most dangerous part in your motorcycle is the fucking nut that connects the seat to the handlebars, man.
That's correct.
Yep.
That's
Amen.
correct.
Well,
there's one thing I'd like to say and put out there with this new mission I'm on for my fellow 1% brethren. And that concludes the entire community. We need your help, too. We'd like to invite you on this show and get in touch with us. We're really easy to get in contact with. There are certain leaders out there, and I'm reaching out to the NCOC and INCOM leaders that I know. Our lifestyle is not in trouble, but we need to, as leaders, move it into the future so that we can pass on what was passed on to us. And, I seen a comment on here a little while ago that this roundtable is starting a unification. And that's kind of a true statement in a sense, because a lot of people are talking about this roundtable to the point where 2 of us had to step away, and one of us is now back, and the other one will be back, I believe, soon. I hope so. He's very valued and needed here. And Big Bone, if you're watching, man, can't wait to get back in next to you on this screen and we give both sides of this lifestyle, because there is still 2 sides of this lifestyle, but it all unifies into one road. So, the experience is needed on here, and as many guests as we can get just gives a bigger, broader perspective, because being a motorcycle club is regional. It's state by state, club by club. We all got our different opinions. We all got our different ways of doing things. And
when you got Dibber, man, it's worldwide.
Sure. Sure. So I'm back. I'll see you all soon. My format's going to change a little bit. I'll probably start recording videos next weekend, and I'm going to figure out this live thing, and we're going to have a good time with this.
Hey, listen, appreciate you, Shaggy. Glad you're back. The phone number, if you want to be on the show, is down there, 404-692-0336, 404-692-0336. Give us a shout if you want to be on the show, or you can hit me up, Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. There's 2 B's in Sabbath. Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Listen, we appreciate having you guys tonight. Wild, Tank, and Dirty Biker Lifestyle Podcast. Man, Shaggy, it's great to have you guys. I'm glad we're doing what we're doing. I'm glad we can argue, we can yell, we can be vehement about our beliefs and still share some road together. And for those of you guys who I haven't ridden with, I'm going to ride with you all. That's my plan. The good Lord be willing and the river don't rise. Appreciate you guys. Have a great evening.
You guys take care.
Take care.
Later on. See everybody soon.
So, guys, absolutely appreciated all of y'all being on the show and checking us out tonight. The Black Dragons Sunday night roundtable. Yeah, we are so good to have Shaggy back, and hopefully we'll have Big Bone back very soon. And just all the folks that are showing up and coming by to hang out with us. It's just really cool to be supported and have the support of all of these different creators and different bikers across the United States of America, and indeed across the water, where we have Dibber, and then we have Motorhead, Moto Grupo over in Brazil, and we got folks reaching out to us from Australia and New Zealand and just all over the world. And you never figure that starting out with a cell phone, walking through the forest, talking about various things of MC protocol would ever amount to this. My own studio and all this stupid equipment and all this stuff streaming and all this kind of craziness. But it's where we are, and it's what we're doing. We're having a good time at it. The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos is my podcast. The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. So, there we go. Let me see. Give me just a minute, Tank. The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos is on everywhere you get your podcasts. BlackDragonsGear.com. BlackDragonsGear.com is where you can go to get all of my books: Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, my new book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. BikerLiberty.com is our online news magazine. If you want to support the show, $BikerPrez. Or you can, that's our Cash App. We have Patreon. Black Dragon National President is our Patreon. So go check us out. Facebook is Black Dragon Biker. And my Twitter is JBunchII, at JBunchII, which stands for John Bunch II. Motorcycle clubs, motorcycle riding, biker lifestyle, biker combat, just being a biker is one of the greatest things I've ever done. I've met some of the greatest people in the world. It's been very cool, and I'm glad to have you guys on the show with me, hanging out. And I am going to try to lose 100 pounds in 2022. So get with me. While I've been saying get skinny for a while, we're going to try to do it for real. If you guys have an idea for the show, hit me up, Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com, or the Facebook page, Black Dragon Biker, or the YouTube page, Black Dragon Biker TV, our Instagram page, Black Dragon Biker TV. I mean, hit us up. There's all kind of ways. Trying to build Instagram up. I want to get to 10,000 subscribers on Instagram, 10,000 followers. Right now, I'm about 4,500 or so. So please help me get there by liking, sharing, and subscribing my content, going over to Instagram, liking us and sharing us and that sort of thing. Thank you for helping me keep up the channel. Thank you for all of your participation. Just thank you for everything. Just so very thankful. Thanks for buying my books. Thanks. I got guys buying every book I ever wrote, which is 5 now. And I just want to say thank you so much for that. And we're going to just keep delivering those things to you and hopefully building up your knowledge base and making it easier for you to do this thing that you love. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.